Here comes trouble.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Patriot Prime here once again with another Saturday Night Live. We've got nothing else to do, so we're just going to all hang out and talk about robots and how much money that we've spent over the last couple of nights because of the Hasbro Pulse reveals. So,
you ruined the whole thing. We were going to do live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, but I'm live from West Virginia. It's Saturday night.
I know.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday night. Wait, you didn't tell me we were talking about how much we're spending. I don't like bringing that up.
No, I'm not either because this.
Yeah, I don't.
This will be for, they'll hold this. I'm sure wives and girlfriends can find this and we'll get in trouble later.
My wife watches my channel. She's
she blasted me one time. Watch your mouth.
My girl's a bad influence. She's the one that's always like, "We'll get it." Like the robot Prime that they just announced. She was like, "Well, if you want it, get it." I'm like, "Yeah."
Did you get it? Who here? Show of hands. Who got it?
What's that?
The robot Prime, the converter Prime.
Yeah. I don't think any of us has the money.
It's cool, but I dumped enough into this guy back here, so
mine's still sitting in a box. I'm like trying to toy with how I want to tackle that.
Good luck.
Yeah, he takes some planning.
And Dylan told me, he says, "You are not opening that big transformer without me, Dad."
Hey, you knew Tommy's here. Hey, everybody in chat.
Yes. Oh, and welcome all my guests. We got Rodimus Primal, Kato, and Engineer Hoist. Hoist, have you decided yet if you're going to hit us up at Tfcon or not?
I'm about 90% sure I'm going. I haven't made any firm plans yet, but
well, there's three of us right here that can probably push you over that edge.
Yeah,
we're all going to be there. As long as it doesn't get canceled.
I haven't made many plans yet, but I definitely want to be there. So,
oh my God, I was about in panic mode Friday. My boss came in and said there was a special election going on in the state, and they were either going to go for July, which was no biggie, or the end of October. Like, no way. I said, I'll write money down. Fortunately, our state was smart enough to say we don't need a special election. We'll just put it on with the regular election in the primary. So, yes. All right.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the email that says I'll have something to do in October to ruin it.
Oh, it always happens. Now, did you just finish toy hexing your Jazz today or recently?
Jazz I did last night. Sunstreaker I did today. No, wait. I did Trailbreaker last night. I did Jazz and Sunstreaker both today. Yeah.
Yeah, those stickers for Jazz look pretty good. I've got a set of my own on the way with a few more.
And Trailbreaker turned out real good.
I was just showing Rodimus. I just did Bug Bite.
I got that's another one I ordered in Double Dealer too. So
and I love how they gave his weapon. They turned his weapon into that baton that the Stormtrooper had in Force Awakens.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Better than that.
It was one of the few good moments in that movie.
It was like the one good moment in that movie.
Mm.
My favorite part of that movie was the end credits.
Oh, there's our parts guy extraordinaire.
Hey now,
Fire Talk.
What's up?
Probably the guy we should be talking to about this guy.
Oh no, what happened?
No, it's not your fault. I'm just looking for something that could do better than what they did for the wrist fillers for him. Because they did wrist fillers that are 3D printed, but they have to come out in order for the fists to go in. So it's there, it fills in, but then you have to remove it and then put it in his fist and then kind of slide it with the fist in there to transform it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
The thigh fillers are nice, but
those...
but this part here, it's kind of weird how it goes in there. Now the grapple one, that I think that Go Better did, that one, you can has a hinge, and you stick it in and you pull the hinge out, and the rest of it stays in there. So, but not so much with Jazz. And I'm like, oh man, maybe I can get Fire Talks to work on something like this. You know,
Buddy, you come up in every one of our chats as soon as something pops up, even if you're not in, like even on Facebook Messenger. Oh, did you see the ARC? I hope Fire Talks has.
Yep.
Oh, I saw it. There's already some stuff.
And all that stuff
those giant
drop in. Is it July or September?
Because I noticed he doesn't have any weapons, but he's got those giant gaps in arc mode,
from the thighs.
Along the
which
legs.
looks like some
Yeah.
nice storage for some nice big weapons. That
Well, he's
could
got shin guns if you take in effect the thrusters.
yeah.
just like Volcanicus, it would be like a one and done. I would transform it once into robot mode and then transform it back into the arc and then leave it and never transform it again. And then I have Teletran 1. You know, that's that in and of itself is worth the price of admission.
Honestly, I could foresee a lot of collectors, as soon as they get the ARC, a diorama is going to be made in the middle of their room. They're going to have the volcano. You're going to put all your little core class and legends class figures around it.
Their diorama designer, Corey, I can't remember his last name, but man, he did one heck of a job with the dioramas for those photos. Man, they were great. The lava and the volcano and the arc stuck in Mount Everest.
Well,
Aiden, we just discussed that. Just as I can't remember if it started as soon as we kicked off things, but we all think it's cool, but it's not $700 cool.
Yeah, not for me. I mean, I'm totally thrilled for people that can get it. That's fine. Like, I'm not saying it's not worth it. I don't know. It's not valuable to me.
You got to remember something. It's like the five of us were Transformers fans. It's very difficult to be able to afford anything else when you're a Transformers fan.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I mean, it's awesome that something is $700 and it's one of the coolest looking things on the planet. It can transform. We saw it online like 2 years ago when some that company made it as a non-licensed thing. And then they got it licensed by Hasbro, and then now Hasbro is selling it with Peter Cullen voicing it and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, $600.
Yeah, the figure's $100. We're paying $600 for everything else.
Yep. So, if that company though would probably charge that much for some, I don't know how much they charge for some of their robots. Have you been on their website?
No.
I think they're like $400.
Right, so they charge like $400 for their products. So it's like $300 in licensing fees, basically.
No,
and maybe app development, because the app looked pretty cool. And I don't remember ever seeing an app with built-in missions that you could recreate.
Yeah, and paying Peter Cullen for his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it was pretty cool. I finally watched the video that Jay and Silent Bob did on last night. Oh, insomnia kicked in about 4 a.m., so I was up watching that. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like how it can do its little poses, and it needs to come up with something other than greetings every time you talk to it.
The thing is, it's very cool, but I mean, a lot of us, right, for the most part, transform our figures a few times and put them on the shelf, and sit. They're in an A stance on the shelf. And
you don't have a despot?
Oh yeah, I have a couple despots, but
if you're a reviewer, you've got despots.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, I've got a couple dozen right around here.
The fact is, like, in just robot mode as a toy, it's not very attractive. It's not a very attractive Optimus Prime. So it's a $700 remote.
It's a gimmick. You're paying for a gimmick.
And like someone mentioned him, like I put a video up of it today, and it was like one of the comments was not wrong, but they were like, it'll go up in value just like Unicron did, and my comment back was, well, this isn't limited. Like this is a full-on retail release, so probably it's not gonna go up in value like Unicron did.
Well,
now,
another problem.
I've never followed Unicron exactly because really I wasn't planning on getting one until lo and behold, but that's not getting released again.
They have no plans to release it again, and I think they've officially said they have no plans to release another one. And I mean, if they did, they would have to do it in some way that the backers don't feel screwed.
Yeah. We had to get a scaled down version.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with that transforming Prime is first of all, there's a lot of stuff on there to break with all the moving parts and everything, and it's got the app. And when are they going to quit updating the app and have that shut down? And like you said, a lot of the stuff we get, we play with it for a little bit, and then it sits on the shelf, and that's too unique of a thing to. The cool stuff about it is playing with it. And if you're not going to play with it, then what's the point?
It's more to show off too. If you have $700 to spend, you're gonna show that thing off.
I mean, it is pretty big. It's what they say. It's like 19 inches or something.
19 inches,
Yeah.
It is pretty big. So I mean, it is
as tall as the art
piece.
The Marcos M3 reviews. He said he got 3.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know Larkin got 1.
Have you seen them on eBay already? Double
No,
and triple price just to pay for the pre-order?
Yeah, because the pre-order
Good old
sold
scalpers.
out.
I hate scalpers.
Yeah.
Another thing as I would worry about is, okay, if it's displayed, especially with those of us that have kids, one false move and that thing hits the floor, I don't see that one bouncing back.
Mm-hmm.
No.
How many moving parts?
What did it say? I forget how 27 servos or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah, it's an interesting piece, and it was cool. I think that may have made a cool Haslab, even though it doesn't really work for the purpose of Haslab, but something that they could have just crowdfunded or sourced out. But I mean, it's cool. Like I said, for the folks that want it and can get it, I'm thrilled for you. I will love watching your reviews. I will admire from a distance.
Yep.
100%
That's one you're
agree.
not going to peer pressure me into getting.
No, it wasn't even a hard. I mean, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I definitely want to. Nope.
Yeah.
Like it was that quick. As soon as I saw it pop up, I actually saw it on before Jay and Sonic Bob did the $6.99 across the screen.
Oh wow.
I was actually already pre-ordering stuff, and it refreshed and it popped up as they were talking about it, and it said $6.99. I was like, no, sir,
Wow.
nope, not this dude.
Yeah, and what happens in 2 years when the battery pack dies and you can't replace it?
I like the fossilizers. I think they're unique, and there's something weird on the shelf. But as far as the combiner's concerned, I think it'll be one of those where I combine it once to check it out, and that's it.
Yep.
I think I'll probably combine it and leave it that way because they're hideous looking anyway. So I'd rather have one hideous looking robot on the shelf than 5.
Is anybody else disappointed with the blast effects that come with that blast?
Oh
effect?
yeah, I do want that one. I forget what it's called. It comes like a whole slew of blast effects.
Yeah,
I didn't even order that.
It's just the Skyfire or not Skyfire. Why do I call them
It's
Skyfire?
the flame effect.
Fire flame effects over and over again.
It's
Yeah,
nice
I
to
didn't
know
know that.
how many can
I
you
was-
have before it's too much.
Right.
I was
It would
thrilled.
have been the little ones that you don't get very often. We
need more of these.
Rung.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need more scoop cannon.
That was for Rodimus.
I came out pretty good on this Fan Fest. I didn't have to pre-order very much because
I
most of it
ordered
I'll wait for retail.
4 things: Galvatron, Scorponok, Trax, and Rhinox. Oh, and what's the pterodactyl? Pterodon.
Ugly.
Oh.
I've heard it called wing thing. I've heard it called wing
Wing
finger.
finger?
I've heard
Wing
it called wind
finger.
finger.
Wing finger, which
Yeah.
sounds like a delicious dish at Buffalo Wild Wings.
My wife ordered hot wings from Pizza Hut. They were not that good.
No, they're terrible.
Our Pizza
Yeah.
Hut closed down, man. We got Papa John's and Little Caesars.
I love Little Caesars now. I actually really like Little Caesars.
I'm spoiled.
Oh, of course you are.
I live in the Northeast, and we have what's called good pizza, and not
Yes.
the
You come from where
chain
pizza
stuff.
comes from.
What's that?
You come from where pizza comes from. We're not going to
Exactly.
ask you your advice on Taco Bell or not Taco Bell. On
Pizza
Pizza
Hut.
Hut and Well, same thing here. It's where I get my Pizza Hut because our Pizza Hut shut down. If I want Pizza Hut, I have to go to Taco Bell.
I'll tell you,
That's weird.
I've only been to New York once, and I got toted around by a local that lived up there, a friend of mine, and he took me around to a few pizza places, and I immediately understood. It was delicious.
Oh yeah,
And
once
there
you've had New York pizza, nothing else compares.
Nope.
And
I do
back
like
home,
Chicago style though.
yeah. Back home, there was a
I don't
guy
like casserole.
family that moved from New York and opened up a place called Empire Pizza, and it was pretty darn close because he had a pizza place in New York and opened one up here. But the New York water. What are you going to do?
Exactly. You can't do it without the New York water. Well, I
Yeah,
had to use the clear back Autobot symbol on him. I was not going to use the white one that came with it.
You need the shoulder pylons I made.
Yes, I was just thinking. Still got mine in a little baggie over here. I've taken them out. I put them in, and then I put them in the baggie to rearrange things, and I haven't put them back on yet. But Firetalks made little shoulder missiles that you just plug in that look just like the G1 figure.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah, you can get them for double the price from a guy in Australia.
I think he looks good. I think he looks good. He came with the weapon set too. So like it was a bunch of stuff that like the missiles. He came with two blasters. So like the one blaster is what's it called? Like the one he used in Dinobot Island Part 2, where he's like, I think I can solo this hound. We can all use a little help from our friends. What did you think of Godzilla versus Kong?
I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
I was about time that they had a MonsterVerse movie that actually showed monsters through the whole thing.
Yeah. The worst parts of the movie were the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
It should have been called Kong versus Godzilla, though, because the screen time is definitely one-sided.
Yeah.
They need more Godzilla. That's and I'm a Godzilla guy, so like I wanted to see the King of the Monsters be the King of the Monsters more often.
And spoiler alert if anybody hadn't watched it, I like King Kong. I think he's more relatable because he's he emotes more than Godzilla, right? But if they would have let Kong win, I would have been very disappointed because giant monkey versus laser dragon.
Now, I did like, of course, we're going to spoiler alert right here, too. I like how they did Mechagodzilla. This corporation created it, and then he used the alien skull of Ghidra to power it, and then Ghidra is the one that took over Mecha. At least that's the way I look at it. Ghidra took over Mechagodzilla.
My Walmart had
He was
all
controlling Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
He was controlling Mechagodzilla. The way I look at it is King Ghidorah is kind of technically still alive.
Yeah.
And he was controlling the Mechagodzilla, which is kind of interesting to think about. Because if they wanted to, Mechagodzilla could come back and so could King Ghidorah, and then we would really have a problem on our hands.
What happened to all the other monsters from King of the Monsters?
They're either dead or they're in hiding because they got to bow down to the king.
That's right. Oh, here's something we haven't discussed, thanks to seeing this right here. Have any of you guys been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Yep.
Man, that's a good show.
I've watched
yeah.
the first two. I
Fantastic.
gotta catch up.
Fantastic.
I haven't had an opportunity to watch it. I was Trypticon focused.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That
By the
video
way,
took me.
Great episode.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yes,
Oh,
sir.
yes.
That
Amazing.
took me ages to make.
I can't even begin to imagine because I just can't talk right now. I just completed this. It took me all day to shoot this Toy Hacks review for this figure for an 8-minute video.
Yeah.
When that thing finished uploading, it's going to be like 8 minutes and 48 seconds, and I took all day on it.
Makes you feel any better. It took me 2 hours to make that 20-second video.
Oh, your red review?
the red figure review.
It took me a couple of hours to do the news video I did yesterday because I spliced in all the photos because Hasbro sent me the the photos to use in the video. And when I did, it was like I made sure it was this way everybody got the good clear images, in the video. And instead of using it from like, the websites that I usually, TFW or Allspark or Tformers or whatever. But it just took me so long. So long.
Yeah, it was maybe one of my current favorites of yours. It was really, really good.
See, there's your problem. You script.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta wing it, man.
A review. It's kind of better to wing it. I think it's better if you're doing you can write notes on what you want to say, so you have an outline. But if you're doing something like I'm doing, you're doing a retrospective.
Well, yours technically in the review.
Yeah.
Now, the only time I really use notes is when I do G1 reviews, so I can remember what issue when I'm talking about the comic book.
Yeah.
Because I can always remember in my mind, okay, he was in this one with that cover, but I can't remember what the number was.
I usually can remember, and I always have all the images on my computer, so I can easily look it up, and if I have to. And I've done the correction on screen. I meant this.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
I think we've all done that.
Yep. Because I'm not reshooting it.
I'll go in there with a little text and have something. I meant to say this, or I'll get on the comments. I was like, before you all start blasting me, I know what I did.
You're getting a text overlay, and you're gonna like it.
Well, because you know what it is. Then you get the what actually crap. Yeah. And they come in like when I misnote. I was trying to look up what cars the IDW comics did for the Battle Chargers, and instead of the Lotus Esprit, or I believe it was the Pontiac Firebird, they did a Camaros, and everything I looked up said that they were the Lotus Esprit.
A Falk. I've told you.
Yep, those are definitely
coming out
Camaros.
2022. I've heard rumors.
Yeah, there's been rumors.
I heard a rumor.
The Falcon or Hawk question, I had such a time on Air Razor, I couldn't remember what she was. But then upon Googling what a Hawk looks like, Air Razor is a Falcon.
Yep. True that.
This is definitely one of the neatest of all the, I'll pick this thing up before I pick up Dinobot or anybody else, because they're all right here.
Really?
Just sit here and play with this thing. Yeah, I don't know why. I love this stupid bird.
She was a pain in the butt to get the wings to unfold out of the packaging, the way they had her all.
Yes.
Is yours funky?
No.
With this weird, do you see this right here?
Uh-huh.
In the packaging, that was tucked under.
Right.
So when I was trying to get it back apart, I was like, what is the world going on? And then I had to kind of force it past there, and now I'm afraid to mess with it too much.
You don't force it. You just kind of, you manipulate it one specific way and it pops loose. And I think that's where I was seeing on Facebook so many people showing stress marks on it. Now, mine didn't have them because once I figured it out, I wasn't going to fold them back that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never putting it back. Mine doesn't have stress marks, but it just freaked me out the way they packaged it.
Yeah, some of those things with the double hinges, you really kind of got to do it a certain way. I think Beast Wars Megatron on his tail arm section's got a kind of a similar thing.
Then I have this
weird. How much of this guy sucks transforming.
Yeah,
you were talking about how they're packaged. I hate how. I love the packaging of the Kingdom stuff, but the way the backs are shoved into the little holes, hate that.
And not to mention, you can't take them out and mess around with them and put them back into packaging for your review.
You almost always have to tear that cardboard a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But it's kind of nice, though, because if you're ever stuck on the phone talking to someone you want to open your figure, it's a lot quieter.
True.
Yeah.
Instead of rattling all that plastic.
They're better for unboxing.
Yep.
I always use a pair of scissors whenever I try to get the stuff out of the package.
I've only had one QC issue with Kingdom, and that was my Warpath. I was pissed about that.
Yeah, no, Kingdom, I've been.
Did you return it and get another one?
Actually, no. I had somebody send me a one.
Okay.
Felt sorry for me, and they sent it to me. So Dylan got the jacked up Warpath.
Okay.
That's what you use your kids for.
Because I have Warpath sitting on my shelf, and he's nice. He is nice. I just don't like the transformation. It's kind of, and I don't normally say this about like a lot of these new Transformers. He's almost too complicated for his own good.
Yeah, it's his feet.
Yeah.
You're transforming his feet, man.
Oh yeah, he's 90% foot.
When I say I have crap tons of stuff right in front of my desk, it's literally all right there. So I have that.
It's
Which
just
is
unbelievable.
Mine are back there. You can see
Going
they're
around.
kind of like the light's not on them, but you know.
I think every figure I've used in a comparison for a review is right here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I still got these little MicroMaster guys out that I reviewed like 2 weeks ago.
You're exactly right. Pretty much everything that
Oh,
that'll
you
be
know
my
who I haven't
next
taken
one.
out of the package yet?
Yeah, I clear
No,
off my
haven't
desk
taken
every
this guy out of
month
the
or two.
package.
Oh, is that the new spoiler?
This is the Nemesis Prime.
Oh,
okay.
that's a nice figure.
I haven't taken him out.
Oh, I got some stuff for you for that.
I got Devastator.
Yeah, you do.
I got Chrome Dome and Hardhead over there. I got Thrust still in package. I have the Quintesson still in package. I have an Alicon. I got 2 Cyberverse Sharkticons. Rat Trap. I still have Ratchet and Lifeline still in package.
You can sell that for big bucks right now.
I could.
Yeah.
I could. Thank you, Kato.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But I do want the figure, so you know, it's not like I don't want it. It's like
I had somebody, they made
Yours
a
to do
comment.
with as you wish.
I had somebody comment one time. I used Ratchet in a comparison. Somebody's like, "How did you get that figure? I don't understand. How come you got one?" I was like, "I pre-ordered it when it came out, when they announced it.
Yeah.
I paid retail because I pre-ordered it."
I don't think that is my biggest issue right now. Is they're not able to keep up with the demand, and they keep putting out so many figures. They need to like get some of these figures, more of them out for more people to
They
get
need
their
to do
hands
more
on.
of that. Releasing they need to do more of the exclusives that they sell to Walmart and Target, also being on Hasbro Pulse, because that's getting ridiculous too.
Of course, Walmart's really amped up with their sound waves and Netflix Primes lately.
Yeah, I've been seeing Netflix or the new Soundwave a lot for the new
So
word.
in mine, I keep noticing. Normally, they were coming in boxes of 2 and 2. It was 2 Optimuses and 2 Soundwaves, or at least that's the way they were putting them out here. The other day, I was at a Walmart, and it was 8 Optimuses and no Soundwaves.
Nobody wants that Optimus.
Right.
Well, it's either that or they're just getting boxes filled with Optimus, and there's no Soundwaves in the box.
I think they're 2 a box.
Yeah, it's probably just everybody's buying the Soundwave. I mean, when they actually had them in mine, there were about 6 Optimuses, and I had to open up a new box to get the Soundwave.
You'll see those Optimi showing up at Ross and Ali soon enough.
Yeah. I also have unopened the cassette packs. So I have Wing Thing and Knock and Rumble, and I also got Frenzy with Ratbat. So still not open up out of the package.
I've only got two bots I haven't opened yet. I totally forgot I bought Cup. I was cleaning in here the other day, and I was like, "Well, where'd that come from?" I forgot I ordered him.
Cup, Blur, and Grimlock are the 3 of the Studio series I haven't found yet. And then who else? I'm still looking for Beast Megatron. I haven't found. I haven't found. I was gonna get a Black Arachnia, but I held off on her, and I want to get her. Good night.
It's great if the chest pin doesn't snap off, or if it's yours didn't even have the chest pin, did it?
No, it had no chance to snap off because it didn't exist.
Yeah,
It was already going.
it doesn't affect anything.
So that's funny. We got like Grimlock shelf warming in his Target. I've mentioned this to you guys. I've got the one Walmart. That's it. We never get leader class or core class figures.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either one of that. The last Legends class figures I saw was the was it Power of the Primes that had the tiny pretenders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those were the last core class, and the last Legends class I had was Power of the Primes 2 because they got the Rodimus Unicronus in, and it immediately went on clearance.
I get
And
those.
that's my last leader class figure.
I have yet to see a Grimlock at my Targets.
I think I saw
I've seen
one.
them on the shelf.
I had 10 of them on a shelf the other day,
Jeez.
but I already had mine.
What's a target?
What is this Target?
No, his nearest target is like 2 hours away. So.
2 hours in either direction, Roanoke,
Oh, wow.
Virginia, or Charleston, West Virginia. In my area, I've got Ollie's, Walmart, and a couple of those thrift stores. Of course, I looked out. I got the 35th anniversary Megatron and Optimus Prime at one of those local consignment shops, still in the box, and I got them for $15 each.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm still looking. I know you do Predator stuff. Do you get Alien stuff too, or no?
I've got one Alien figure. I bought the big Chap 40th anniversary one,
Yeah,
but there was just way too many aliens. I mean, I limited myself with the Predators too.
I just
I mean,
saw
at least
the
the movie version.
Rhino Alien. That thing is massive.
Oh, that thing's sweet though.
Yeah, I just saw that one. Have you
I'm
seen
gonna
the,
have
big,
to-
like the 12-inch or 10-inch or whatever it is Predator, the Ultimate?
Oh yeah, I got him.
Going off.
You do
The Alpha Predator.
It's the whatever the taller one was. It wasn't the 7-inch. It was like 10 or 11 inches tall.
He's pre-ordered. I haven't seen him in my Walmart yet, but he is pre-ordered. Damn Funko Pops.
Yeah, you're in now.
Ooh. Yes, show that one off. Look what Fire Tox is making me to go with my other one.
Check that trigger discipline.
Oh,
I don't remember those guns sounding like that.
this one.
I just finished the Blu-rays last night. I bought them on Blu-ray. I haven't watched that series probably since Iraq, and it still holds up today. Some of the effects are wonky. Like, if you guys remember the baby that came out, that's laughable now.
I don't remember much of that series, I'll be honest with you.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. I probably haven't seen it since the 80s, but I loved it as a kid.
I'm really surprised HBO Max doesn't have it because Warner Brothers owns V, and they're putting out all this WB's HBO Max. So I'd like to see the 2009 reboot. I remember watching it when it came out. I wasn't that impressed because it didn't follow the story at all. But I'd like to give it another go now that my mind is more open.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I don't mind reboots and they do it all the time, but
He'll love that. Him and Tommy both have been sick all weekend, so.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
The other piece I have to babysit. That's why I haven't printed it yet. My oldest daughter's in town for the weekend, so I've been running around with my head cut off all weekend.
You know, I cannot get that kid to sit down and do a review for anything now. He was all gung-ho for about a month. He gets all this stuff in, just immediately rips it out of the box. He's like, you're not going to review it? I don't feel like it. I was like, you got 165 subscribers. They're waiting on your reviews. Dad, sometimes people just don't want to do these things. All right, I ain't forcing you.
Now that is a word of wisdom for you right there.
already figured it out.
Yeah, I've had nights like that. I've gotten so aggravated. So it's like I'll come home planning to do a review, but something pisses me off, and I'm like, I'm not reviewing anything tonight because your viewers can tell if you're aggravated when you're shooting something.
Yeah.
Or where you're in a rush because, like, you know, you're like you have to run out and get something for the kids, or, you know, in my case, like I had to sit in the parking lot outside the doctor's office on Friday because, you know, even a spouse is not allowed inside the doctor's office when, you know, get on that t-shirt.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't feel like sometimes. Yes, he will be 7. Oops, where was it? He will be 7 the 22nd.
Wow. Aerith is 5, and my little man is 2.5.
A
Eric is
4-year-old
going on 25. She's like
15-year-old.
She's a little adult.
Patriot Prime Subbeam, Patriot Prime Pistol Fuse.
There's been a few. I've walked out of this room sometimes. I just can't transform something.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I'll set stuff up that falls over.
Oh.
See, I can't be like Bert. Bert just rolls with it. Something falls over. Oh, whoops, he fell over. It just keeps going. Mine falls over. I just start spouting off expletives and walk off the room.
Therapeutic.
Or because you start sweating because you have all the lights on and they're all bright and everything, and you're trying to reach your hand around for the camera to try and get to the actual toy and try to mess with it, and the joint decides to freeze up.
Now that I've bought one of these and I use this with my reviews, I can't tell you how many times I bump into this. And you hear this going on.
Yeah. Hello, Ultra Marcus.
There's Ultra Magnus. I can't talk.
The best voice in the business right there. I want him to narrate everything.
He's so serious.
He's the Sir David Attenborough of Transformers.
Hello, iBeamer.
What'd you guys think of my Trax impression?
That was good.
That was good.
But seriously now,
he'd rather stay in his stunning auto mode.
to do a good Trax, you have to talk through your nose.
We're
Actually,
about to be one with the pavement. Duck.
Of course, when I worked at a resort for a few years, that's what everybody talks about. Good one, Buffy.
I like Trax though. He's a good character. That's the thing. I would love a Raoul to go with him. A Raoul and a Blaster.
Hello, Solid Optimus.
Hey now.
It's better than a Liquid Optimus.
Oh.
As far as egos, Trax, Skylinks, or Sunstreaker. I'm going to say Sunstreaker, but I'm biased.
Skylinks.
Skylinks.
But the
Yeah,
answer is probably Skylinks.
I think it's what blew my mind the most about the Kingdom? No, Earthrise, when Skylinks was this angry god character. And I was like, what? That's not Skylinks.
Well, speaking of, I still like Rodimus Primal. I like your theory about the arc. I've been holding on to that in my head. About, Skylinks.
Possibly it could.
Oh, do tell us the story about the arc there, Rodimus.
Well, it's possible that Skylinks is actually in Teletran 1 systems. And he could. Yeah. So if Skylinks is actually got absorbed into the arc, and that is what's going to cause him to be the arc itself to be able to transform. That's going to be my theory.
That Skylinks left the dead universe and possesses the arc in some way.
Yep.
I would be so down for that.
Yeah.
Kingdom Trax remolded as the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am.
That's kind of awesome.
Well, they could already do that with the Runamuck about
True.
Since they didn't actually give us a proper Pontiac Trans Am out of Runamuck. Runabout is supposed to be the Esprit. So they're actually supposed to be different cars. And I'm not a car dude, but I at least know that, and I'll still get flack if I don't get it right.
Oh man.
I like that they were just a white and black Camaro in the IDW comics. The intro in that comic when I was reading it.
They were the first Decepticons introduced, wasn't it?
Yeah, chasing Ratchet. I think they were chasing.
I have all of the IDW in hardback editions up until I guess the end of their first run. And then I started to get the second. That's when they branched off into two different series, and it just got too weird. And I was like, I'm done. I'll just.
Pretty much everyone said that they stopped. A lot of people stopped reading a Dark Cybertron. It's like Dark Cybertron was pretty much like it for a lot of people, which is when they did this. I think it's when they did the split. No, they did the split.
No, they did the split before. Then they came together for Dark Cybertron. Then they went back apart.
Right. But I hear a lot of people. Yeah, it was a dead universe.
I think it was right after that they changed the names of the series from More Than Meets the Eye to Lost Light, and then from Robots in Disguise to What was it? Just Transformers.
I am not like a lot of stories in IDW are good, but I am not the biggest fan of a lot of IDW, comparatively speaking. I much prefer like the G1 comic versus IDW in a lot of ways. And I know that Furman he purposefully created the IDW universe to be different. That was his whole goal to begin with, was to be different, as a reboot. And sometimes it's a little too different. And then it kind of went a little too far out into left field. So
now here's a question Jason's asking. Is it, for you comic guys, is IDW still making them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I haven't seen it.
the War for Cybertron series. There's the Galaxies. I think there's at least one more crossover, and the crossover books like the Ectotron.
I just got the Terminator one, which was really good. I like that.
From what I'm hearing, IDW's current crossovers have been the good part of what they're putting out.
Yeah,
Like,
the main storyline, I'd stopped. It was the most boring comic book I've ever read in my life.
Everything
I haven't really kept up with it
is
either.
so boring. The war started,
stopped
but now nobody's shooting at each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
when
stopped
it's all
at issue 6.
political and love stories, I'm like, man, that's not for me.
You know where they really lost me is when they started doing all the crossovers with all the other brands. Bringing in ROM and Visionaries and all that stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know what half of those were, and then I had to go buy extra books, and I just
that
they coupled it off in one other
days with Marvel too.
Skywarp went off with G.I. Joe, and I was just like,
it was a Revolution or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Mask and G.I. Joe and ROM and
I'm trying to read them digitally. I had to go find and then had to add to a massive Excel document that is read these, then this one, then this one, then these, then this one, and this one. And it gets to a point where you have to read two of this series, then read this ROM crossover, then read this Mask crossover, then read through these one-shots, then go back through the main line, then jump over to Lost Light.
Welcome to 1990s X-Men and Spider-Man comics.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, they started doing.
Were you into the horror comics? Remember when Ghost Rider was the thing, and they brought in all these dark comics? That was this massive. Now they had like Morbius, Darkstalker. That's when I got out of comics. I'm like, I'm buying too much stuff I don't care about.
Yeah, the crossovers were bad. The best horror style comic that's been out recently, Visitor Commander. Yeah, everything was bad about that. They did what do they call it? It's the new Hulk comic, The Immortal Hulk. That is a beautiful book. That is a great storyline. They basically brought him back to his roots and made him kind of a horror book, and it's great.
Is it Bruce Banner again still, or?
Oh yeah, it's Bruce. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I heard
Jay
they
Lee,
killed
thank
them
you.
all.
That was it. The Midnight Suns. Midnight Sun.
Yeah, that was what it was. I have had one of those. I got rid of my comic collection a couple years ago.
I've got a couple of the big long white boxes you store me in. I got a few of those buried under tons of Transformer boxes.
I had a box.
I sold most of my. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I had a box that I got at Kmart when it first came out 30 years ago. Was you bought this Spawn comic box and it came with Spawn issue number 1 in the box. That's how they launched Spawn 1, and I had stuff in that box for 30 years. And then I sold it all to a guy. Another box of stuff, and this is just all consuming now.
Yeah, I sold most of my comics quite a few years ago to buy a motorcycle. I was like, let's stop and go outside a little bit.
When it was still worth something, right? When you used to sell.
Yeah, they were worth, like I had plenty of like the first run Spawn stuff.
The 90s were okay, but the 80s is where it was, baby.
Oh yeah.
Well, you had 91 was the X-Men, launch, right? X-Men number 1 with that, and then you had who was it? You had.
I didn't like talking to him anyway.
I think I could hear his neighbors through his mic.
Spider-Man was doing what's it
Maximum
called?
Carnage.
Well, no, before that was Venom showed up, right? I think it was late '80s that he showed up, and then Carnage.
Yeah.
Um,
If you've ever read the Toxin comics,
I have not read the Tfcon comics. I that was during the separation anxiety story arc, right?
I think they're the son of Carnage,
Right.
and they're very broken, but they're very childlike and super super violent, but attached to somebody who is more than willing to kill themselves if Carnage goes too crazy. Or, I mean, if Toxin goes too crazy, and Toxin's too young to realize that he doesn't actually need this guy because he doesn't survive off of him like the other symbiotes do.
Okay.
He doesn't have the brain craving or the chocolate craving. He's just there, and he's stronger than both of them.
Huh. I don't. It's been a while, like, because like I was more into Spider-Man himself, and when Venom went off and did his own thing, I think I picked up the first issue, the Lethal Protector.
Yeah,
And then
that was in the box.
yeah, and then I continued reading Spider-Man, and then they did the split where Ben Reilly became Spider-Man, and then it was a big deal about Ben Reilly got killed at the end, and when Ben Reilly died, and then Peter Parker became Spider-Man again. But it sucked because they did a stillborn for Mary Jane's baby. I was like, oh man, This is like, it was too much, too part of a, like, you not only like killed off. I really liked Ben Reilly. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people don't, but they killed him off. They bring Peter Parker back, but they don't let Peter Parker be a dad. Like, I would have liked to have seen the storyline of him being a dad and being Spider-Man. That would have been a cool story arc, but no.
There was a more modern book that did that. That kind of picked up where he had a kid, and they were all like him, Mary Jane, and Mayday was. It was good. I thought that was.
That's kind of like that show I'm watching on Amazon right now, Invincible.
The show is so good.
I haven't watched it yet tonight. This one we'll do after this.
Oh man!
I watched it last night, and I've been watching. I was rewatching it with one of the girls, the oldest one. I showed her the first episode, and I was like, no, don't stop at the credits. And she watched after the credits and was like, I have to watch every episode of this now.
Yeah. Invincible, the comic is one of the best comics out there. That one of the best series out there. That was such a good book, and they're doing a pretty good job of bringing it to the screen. It's fairly faithful. They're moving pretty quick though. That surprised me. Like, if you read the comic,
a six issue or not issue is a 6-episode series.
I'm not sure how far they're going to go in season 1.
I think it's only going to be 6 episodes for the first season.
But it's
so I imagine I know how the first season's going to.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure how it's going to end. It's going to be awesome and brutal.
Yes.
But
I got a bug in my lamp.
As fast as they went through that first episode, I was like, "Holy crap! They're already doing this." All right, moving on.
Well, considering where they're at with the Clone Brothers already, compared to when they did that,
haven't seen tonight.
You saw them in the first episode.
Well, okay. I thought maybe something else had happened.
No spoilers yet.
No. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Gosh. See, the thing is, I would almost venture to say that in the 2000s, like somewhere in the 2000s, is where comics just did.
Well, the 90s started it. Like, that was the Clone Saga with Spider-Man.
Right.
A lot of the massive sized crossovers. The
Executioner song and Dante, like all that
stuff. I love the Executioner song, but the multiple covers, the holographic covers, the embossed covers,
glow in the dark covers. I've got a few of those.
Yeah. All that they oversaturated. The same thing that built comics up in the 90s killed it, and it started with the death of Superman. Like, it made news. It was a big deal that they were going to kill Superman off, and comics sales skyrocketed. But they made like a bajillion copies of it. So it was
Well,
never
not to
gonna be
mention,
worth
look at the
anything.
prices of them anymore. I mean, of course, when I started collecting comics, they were 75 cents. Then they went to $1, $1.25.
Yeah.
Now, I think the most recent comic I bought might have been last year at some point. I bought something. It was a Transformer comic, and I paid like $3.25 for it. And you open it up, and the first page is a big splash panel. It's Optimus Prime. And it's got one word, so it's like, "Go." Okay, and you're done with the book in a heartbeat. That's
they've
of course,
eliminated.
everybody's got their smartphones and tablets now. Nobody wants comic books anymore. You can, what's the app? Comixology.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Comixology.
It's not just that, but I think the other issue is if they were. It's not so much. I mean, if you have so many books to read, but then the books that are coming out, they're too expensive. I mean, for like $4 or $5 an issue, you know, are kids' allowances allowing for that many? Like, you know, like you said, like it was like $2 to buy a comic book issue, you know, and I would say in the 90s, I would say that's pushing it. You know,
that's the reason I stopped, because I had a box at my local shop where he would just, like most people, you would give him a list of the things you wanted and he put them in a box and you go pick them up. And I was getting sometimes 15, 20 books a week. And you're talking, $3, $4, $5, $6 a book. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I can't do that.
Not only that, like Patriot Prime was saying, was like, if you ever read Secret Wars in the 80s, that's a long read. Mm-hmm. That is a long read because the speech bubbles are like packed with dialogue. And like
I remember.
Like it's like so much dialogue going on.
It's like they crammed the page of a novel in a speech bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they were overlapping each other. You're like, okay, how do I follow this?
You have to follow like which one is which. And then, then you turn the page and like it's the same thing. Like it's just that much. Now it's more based, I guess you would say, on the action, but then you get like issue. Then the thing is you read current Transformers and there is no action. None at all. So, it's walking like down 90s, the hallway and talking about how the war is there. Like it's boring.
War.
In the 80s and 90s, you had it's just like any other thing. The centerfold was where the glorious artwork was. That was the big splash page. You had a title page, a big splash page in the center. You had writers like Chris Claremont writing X-Men, who was all about dialogue, sometimes too much. And people were like, dude, chill. You're writing this is a novel now. We do want to see some pictures. And now you've got the opposite of that, where it's all artwork and, 5 words and it's a bunch of splash pages. And it's I get it. They're dying and they know they're dying, but it always kills me when you see something going under and then they make decisions that help it go under.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not trying to save anything. You're just floundering until you go.
That and the stories themselves are waste of space.
And some of them are way too hard to follow.
Yeah.
It's like, just to have them shoot each other. That's what I want.
That's why the rise of the indie books kicked off so well. Things like Invincible, with Ryan Otley and Walking Dead, a lot of those indie books picked off so much because the artwork was, I love Ryan Otley's work, so I won't say anything about that. But like The Walking Dead, black and white, it was nothing super special about the artwork. It was a cool style, but the story and the writing was like, oh, okay, we're getting twists, we're getting some things that you didn't expect. Nobody is safe. Anybody can go. This is a good story. And that's what comics have been missing.
Yeah.
I would say, if you want to go back to Transformers, we could just in the same light. I would say the same thing, not just the Transformers comics, but the Transformers cartoons have been, it almost seems like there's something missing out of every series that's been coming out. Not just the Netflix show, but it's like, okay, Cyberverse is good, but it's missing this. The Netflix show has this and it's missing that. Like, what is it that they're not getting?
They're going for flair and they're losing the story.
Yeah.
If you're going to reboot a series, take some chances. Like
I'm
if you're
really
just gonna
excited.
full on reboot and take some chances, do some crazy crap.
I am
and
really
have fun.
excited for Kevin Smith's reboot of He-Man.
Very excited.
I mean, I know he's a nerd, so he's going to probably do it right.
I hope
He's
so.
one of my favorite comic book writers. I hate that he never finished
hope so.
Black Cat and Spider-Man. That was a great book.
I'm telling you, I hope so, because there's so many series have just been floundered that I really want something good, out of these reboots and constant reboots of all the shows that we grew up on in the 80s. They're not making anything new. They're just retreading the same ground.
Rodimus, I have to stop you there. Your Thundercats Roar video was in my suggested the other day, and I watched that. I've never seen it, but you were entertaining to watch complain about that show.
I ranted pretty well, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah. You never see me that mad about a show.
The good thing about the Kevin Smith thing is he's not rebooting it. It's supposed to be a continuation. So my hopes are high.
Yeah.
My hopes are high for that.
Is he continuing from the original He-Man or the 2000 reboot?
The original
He-Man.
This is 1985, 86, whatever animated He-Man where it left off at.
It's been such a long time since I saw those. I don't remember those being a cohesive story.
Well, funny you say that. I recently watched the He-Man cartoons. It's 2 seasons. I would say when the pandemic started, I think I literally marathoned through them all. And there's not an overarching story, but they make mention of previous episodes. So like a character who's not even in the toy line gets introduced, they'll revisit in a later episode. So they make like, they say, he is my what's such and such and such and such. And then like 15 episodes later, that character shows up again. They're like, oh, it's good to see you again the last time. And they make mention of the things that happened in that last episode. So like there's not there is a continuation in the show. Like it does go on, but it doesn't like have an overarching story, which is fine because 4 and 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds can sit down and watch He-Man and, or I don't know how old you guys were when He-Man came out, but because I think I'm the youngin'. But like when it came out, like, we were sitting there watching the show and we may have not seen that episode. So we can just enjoy the episode as it was because it was Monday through Friday. Tuesday, I might have had soccer practice, but Wednesday I could at least watch that episode. Like you miss an episode. And so you don't feel like you're missing anything. Nowadays, everything's on streaming services. So they make it an overarching plot.
Yeah.
Back then, if I remember correctly,
you weren't home at 3:30, you were missing that episode.
Yep.
He-Man was the only cartoon I was able to watch via my rotating antenna on my house because I think it came on NBC or ABC at 4 o'clock just as soon as I got home from school. Now, all the other big 80s cartoons, they were all on friggin' WGN out of Chicago. I was watching those at my grandparents' house.
Yeah, I think the idea that Kevin Smith's going for, there wasn't a huge cohesive story in the 80s He-Man, but I think what he's going for, what I'm expecting is him to make a cohesive story from the lore of
what was already built.
80s He-Man.
And the thing is, like you guys said, he's a fan, so he has an opportunity to make sure that he doesn't screw that up.
Yeah.
And I think he's well aware of the weight on his shoulders to do so.
Right.
See you, Craig. I think he takes it pretty seriously.
We are chilling like jazz.
Let me go grab mine real quick. I want to take a look at what you're talking about now that you mentioned it again.
but I'm hoping that it's good. And like Ninja Turtles is probably going to go through another reboot,
Sure.
right? Because they canceled Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Did they?
I think they canceled it.
I didn't watch any of those.
Like I only saw the first like 4 episodes.
Got to take off, guys.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Well,
Hoist.
see you, Hoist.
Appreciate you stopping
See
by.
y'all. Yeah, it's been fun.
I'll tell you, I've been on a like binge watching a lot of cartoons, a lot of some more modern animated series that I just wanted to watch over again, and then I stumbled on one. You guys know who Gendy Tartakovsky is, the guy that did Samurai Jack and the Star Wars 15-minute Star Wars cartoons. A while back, a year or two ago or whatever, I remember that there was talk of him doing another animated series, and I completely spaced out on it and never watched it. But on HBO Max, it popped up as a suggestion. It's Primal. It's called. It was on.
Oh, that's
Adult
him?
Swim.
I got to check that out tonight then.
That is a phenomenal cartoon, and I won't. I'm not going to say anything. It's just don't go into it expecting like a bunch of dialogue. Think of it like the Star Wars ones, where it was a lot of story told through the cartoon itself.
Well, that was Samurai Jack to a T.
There were plenty of episodes of Samurai Jack where it was about 99% silent or no voices, no talking. And that's the way this is, and it's genius. Elite's Reviews is so confused. What are you confused about? If you're expecting a conversation about normal stuff on here, this is not.
Yeah, it's not your party.
Take place. We do what
I can see a lot of
Wrong
people
point.
hanging out with us at TFCon and just finally walking away.
Yeah. All right. See you.
Changji Keat wants the Beast Wars combiners to get reissued. Magnaboss and Tripredacus, I guess.
Yep, that'd be cool.
Either that or redo them.
Yeah.
You know, make them.
Hey, Papa Gord. What's going on?
Some of those Beast Wars figures didn't really need too much of a retool. I mean, that's when they came out, they had the ball joints, they had the articulation.
Yeah.
Most of them were fairly, I mean, they still hold up good today.
I have that what was it, the 10th or 15th? Everything was the 10th anniversary for Beast Wars with the 2-pack of Optimus Primal and Megatron. And they gave him the cartoon accurate heads.
I remember those. Jada, that's on you.
Yeah.
Hey, Patch.
And those are good. I actually really dug them because they were better than the initial release because they didn't have that I never really cared for the mutant heads. The only place the mutant head made sense is if it was used in the animation model, like with Tarantulas used the mutant head, and it was the robot head that they used for Black Arachnia, but with a female face.
I think Waspinator in the animated series had his mutant head.
He used the mutant head.
Yeah, he had a regular robot head.
And
now that's a bot we haven't seen in ages. I think the last skids we got was an IDW skids in Thrilling 30, and wasn't he like armed to the teeth?
Yeah, not counting the Bayverse nonsense.
Right.
That Bayverse skids. I would be surprised if we don't get a skids because I mean they're doing the masterpiece skids.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be surprised if they didn't bring that along.
I'm
That's
surprised
probably why they're not going to do skids initially. But then again, they did RC. They did RC at the same time they did a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll be honest with you, I would like them to take the masterpiece and reapply that to the to a deluxe. Or I would pay Voyager pricing for a deluxe scale RC that is a G1 scale RC that looks a lot better, transforms better, doesn't have the same issues that any of the other RC figures have. Just to get like a good retail version of RC. And
I would have liked the Earthrise version if she just had more paint applications.
I would have liked the Earthrise version if it was a better toy.
Yeah. Because I like Lifeline and Elita 1. I just didn't like
the remolds were better. Mhm.
Speaking of Lifeline, I got to find a green paint for her.
Oh yeah, to fix her up like you did RC.
Yes. Yeah. And I know that her back is white. Which
You haven't even opened that yet?
No.
Man.
I have. You know what it is? I just opened up. I opened up a bunch of MicroMasters, and then I got to doing these toy hacks. But then again, you know how many hours I spent on that Tfcon video?
Yeah, I know.
Like, I mean, I made a 22-minute video about a dinosaur Decepticon.
Firetox is down there measuring stuff.
I don't think you're going to be able to get what you want out of this because I'm looking at the clearances when you close the hand. And I took the thinnest piece of material that I have off of a print, and I'm looking at how much of a gap there is. The knuckles almost touch when it folds in on the back side.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a gap on the top side of the hand, but then you get where the thumb, the little arch of the thumb almost scrapes.
Okay.
And I was thinking maybe if you put something in there spring loaded, but if you do that, you'll never get the hand all the way in.
Okay.
Maybe that's why they did it the way they did.
I miss the old G1 days. We had the little lever and slid the fist in and out.
I'm surprised they don't do that as much anymore.
I wish they did what they did with Cyclonus.
Oh, Cyclonus is still the best Kingdom figure we've got.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Inferno's close. I was really impressed with Inferno. I liked Grapple. Inferno just kicked it up a notch.
Oh,
Curtis said, "How do Transformers make paint on Cybertron?"
There's
your next retrospective.
Oh yeah, how do Transformers have colors? Right, like that. That was something that why all the Bayverse Transformers were all metal and one uniform color.
That hasn't happened. Kid Toby, funny thing, the Comic-Con in Baltimore happens the same weekend as TFCon.
Yep.
It's going to be Nerdvana.
That's right.
Well, that's going to be awkward.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many nerds in Baltimore. It's going to be unreal.
There is going to
yeah, I could see it. I could see what you're talking about. The knuckle, his middle knuckle is like barely, just basically touching.
Yeah, I think your best bet for a filler on that's something you're gonna have to remove.
The list of people within our little circle of YouTube keeps growing as far as who's going to comic or TFCon. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be fun. We're going to be in the dealer room and just hanging out.
Yeah, M3 Marco said he's going. I think Pac from 3 Live Stream said he's going now. Ugh, it's going to be a lot of us. We're not even going to be in the. We don't even need to buy tickets. We'll just hang out in the parking lot.
I got to find out if the company that's making command droids is going to be there.
Who's making what catchphrase? Something like until next time, till all are one, or
we'll do that at the end. I'm going to wrap this up in a couple minutes anyway. I've got to get to bed.
I saw someone ask about it. I would love to see a Studio Series RC, and I would love to see a Studio Series Ultra Magnus.
Well, the way those Studio Series figures are selling out, I could almost see that line just continuing on for quite some time.
Probably. Because that Kingdom Ultra Magnus just...
I saw something today that all of you are going to be very, 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 very happy about in a couple of months, but I can't talk about it.
Well, you can't do that.
I can.
I saw something that you're going to be happy about in a couple of months, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
I know.
Get the hell off my channel.
No, actually don't, because we want to wait a couple months, then kick him off the channel.
Or yeah.
No.
Well, I got to make something, and I got to send you guys something in little black bags that you can't open until you know when.
Oh, you've already teased that to me. I know what you're talking about. Am I going to be more nervous reviewing Unicron than Overlord? I don't think so. Overlord, that I was a nervous wreck reviewing that. This guy, I haven't really decided how I'm going to do it because I can tell you right now, for everybody watching, I am not transforming him on camera. I'm going to say that right now. There are plenty of reviews or videos out there showing it, and it's not my figure. I'm not going to try to fumble around with it on camera. I'll maybe doing an unboxing with Dylan because he wants to be part of it. And I'm glad I'm going to video the unboxing because I have to know how to put it back. So I haven't decided. I'm not really that nervous. I was actually shocked when it was offered to come my way. The individual who sent it to me is out of town for a few months. He knew it was coming to his house, and he thought he'd rather I have it and keep it than it just sit in a storage bin somewhere.
If anybody wants me to make fillers for that waffle of everything about that figure, you have to buy me a figure first.
Also fair.
I'm not doing what I've done in the past where you can send me some measurements and I'll come up with something. Nope. You want me to do that many little filler pieces, you got to buy me a Unicron.
I can't get over how everything just fall. I was watching the official Hasbro transformation of it, and it's just unreal. It doesn't look fun.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. I wasn't like a naysayer about Unicron. I thought it looked really awesome, but I was kind of like, it's very cool, but there's a lot of folding bits and kibble and everything. I finally got the chance to see one in person. I went to a comic shop that had one up. They were selling it, and in person, that is one of the most impressive Transformers I've ever seen, and it looks to be worth every penny of the original price. The original price, not this current nonsense that's going on now.
Yeah,
but it is a very cool and when you see it in person, when you take it out of the box and mess with it and transform it and look at it, it will blow you away. It's very, very.
I saw the prototype. I saw the.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did. You saw it in person early on. Yeah. So
I saw it in October of 2019. Was it?
Yeah. It was 2019.
Right.
It wasn't 2018.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019.
It was at New York Comic Con. I was there in person, and I got to see it. Couldn't touch it because it was the painted prototype.
So you can vouch. It's like the reviews and pictures don't do it justice.
Right.
It is huge.
I've not seen the finished product, like the version that everybody else, like actually the people who ordered it got it, because the paint and colors are different.
Yeah.
So, but at least I know that I've seen it, and I've seen it in person, and it is, and the version I saw, I think they even changed parts of it, like after what they showed. Like I think they changed the hands. I could be wrong.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Right. I think
I have to admit, watching the transformation of Unicron in the Transformers movie is still to this day one of my favorite scenes. And when the hand comes out, you got that that. I love how the toy replicates that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't transform it on screen, but you should mimic the animation, not stop motion, but just a few clips of how it transforms in the movie. Just get a close up of the hand coming out.
I'm all about movie clips.
Yeah. So I think you're really going to like it. When I saw it in person, it was the first time I regretted not backing it.
Dude, that was an amazing toy shop that you went to too. I was jealous.
That is a very nice guy that works there. Very, very cool guy. It's about an hour and a half away, so it's not like close enough to go to all the time.
No, that's how far 80s Toys of Princeton, West Virginia is for me. I need to go see him again. I haven't seen him since last Christmas. Oh, Christmas before that, when Bert and I holed up.
So I like to go there like twice a year or something when I think they may have some new stuff in.
Of course,
really cool group.
Kingdom Wave 2. He posted on Facebook, "Hey, I got these bots in." I'm like, I want them all. Send them to me.
Did you guys pick up on some of the things that they said during the FanFest thing on Friday?
I didn't watch it. I just saw the pictures afterwards.
Okay.
I was at work.
Someone asked about Japanese exclusives and Japanese characters getting released. They said we can't say anything. Someone asked about the Dinobots Studio Series. They said can't talk about it.
They said stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's what it is. They said stay tuned.
Nope, can't talk about those.
There was a couple of things that they had mentioned. Oh, and the leaks. The marketing lady was like, I can't believe like 80% has already been what we're going to show you. It's already been shown. Like she actually said that. And I was like, wow.
He was the same way when they announced Grease Pit and what was the other Generation Selects, the Wheeljack one?
The exhaust.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was all mad about that because I watched that one. She's like, and we were going to show you these, but they're already for sale. And she was mad about that too.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Because, because she wants to be a surprise. I would have liked to have been surprised. Deathsaurus, I would love Deathsaurus. And a Star Saber. Need a Studio Series 86 Perceptor and Blaster, agree.
Yes. I want a Perceptor so bad. I haven't had a Perceptor since G1.
Somehow I lucked in and found a Perceptor from Titan's Return on this shelf.
Oh, I saw one at Tfcon last year, and I was like, I don't know if I want to spend like $30. And I came back 5 minutes later and was going to buy it, and it was gone.
Yeah. I saw one for $50. I saw one for $50 at New York Comic Con. Same thing with I think Titan's Return Blaster, I think was pretty up there.
I have him. I love that guy.
But I want an in-scale blaster. Like I want something a little smaller, and I want the cassettes to match. And I kind of want the cassettes to be better, even though they're so small. Like,
yeah, I did the cassette tablets or whatever they were.
Yeah,
they were cool. I mean, I like their little alt mode gimmicks, especially with Rumble, Frenzy, and Eject and Rewind because they could turn into little tanks. But I didn't dig the data pads. They need to be cassettes.
Yeah, I want the toy X that makes them into the Mountain Dew vending machine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I need. I need a Mountain Dew.
They should just take the G1 designs, modify them up a little bit, and then just release them as they are and make them posable.
Yeah. That would be an easy figure. All they got to do is take the Netflix Bumblebee and change his head.
Yeah. That's if they can release him, though, because to my understanding, I think Volkswagen has only licensed the Beetle for Transformers for Bumblebee only, which is probably why Bug Bite. They don't want an evil. So I would not be.
Why would Germans not want evil things? And we'll drop that right now.
Cut.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's why Bug Bite is the cliff jumper car.
Yeah.
That's my.
I don't even think I noticed that until you just said it. That he's not a bug.
Yeah.
Lagbait says they need to do GoBots. If they did, it would have to be totally different because Action Toys, Machine Robo Action Toys has the license to all the figures, but Hasbro has the GoBot name and the names of the GoBots.
Bert's been making me jealous lately with his Super GoBot reviews.
Masterpiece Rock Lords.
What?
I would just want the main three, and that's of the Renegades and the Guardians, and that's it. I would just want the main three.
You want Psykill, Leader One, and
we got to have an updated Psycho. Everybody has Psycho.
Yeah.
Gotta have a Psykill. Gotta have I think it's Coptor.
Coptor.
That's it. Crasher, Leader One, Scooter, and Turbo.
Yep, those are the main things.
Yeah, I think I'd be good with that.
That would be it for me for GoBots. I don't have any other connection to GoBots other than those 6 characters.
The only GoBot I have a connection to was Screwhead. Drill Tank. That was my very first transforming figure I ever owned.
I used to have the Porsche that the canopy of the car was the head.
I know.
I remember that. Yeah, the big one.
Yep.
Baron Von Joy. Bert just reviewed it.
I honestly don't know.
They were all weird with that canopy head.
The Decepticons had a field day with him. I'll just put it to you that way. But yeah,
right, well, it has been an hour and 20 minutes. It's going on midnight. and I have got to get to bed. I got a big day planned tomorrow. It's going to be like 70 degrees here, no rain, pouring the rain right now. And I'm thinking it's finally time to take the top off the Jeep and go cruising. I know Dylan's wanting to get out there.
Oh man, it has been gorgeous. We're going to get out of the house. We may go down to the beach or on the pier or something tomorrow. It has been beautiful here lately. So
I know 3 of you are on my Facebook page. You've seen what we've been building all week with Dylan's new Heidi house.
The playground, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wanting one of those to put in the house for a long
My God, every year this kid gets a birthday and I got to spend 2 weeks putting something together.
I still have to put my son's tool bench. My parents got him a toddler's tool bench because I need to make room for it. So I have to get rid of a walker and a little like rider car but I need time to do that.
Rambles in the review for his wheelie set. All his links are in the description of that review.
and in the review of his Grimlock set, all the links are in the description of his review.
Yeah.
We all got it covered.
Anything with Firetox's name in the title of our reviews has descriptions, his links in the descriptions.
We all do. We all.
There's only one person who doesn't put links to my stuff when he gets a hold of my stuff.
Oh,
We'll call him out at TFCon.
I'm right here. No, I'm just kidding. That's very subtle, Firetox.
Well, I didn't say his name.
Well,
It
he does
starts
everything
with a
on
K
his
and ends
phone.
with an 80. No, that's not. I do links.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank all of you guys for hopping in for this impromptu chat. As I said in the beginning, I was bored. The family's asleep. I've got nothing to do. I wanted to talk bots with my bros. So,
Anytime, man.
and thank all you guys for hopping in and watching and joining us with the chat. And I guess we'll see you next time. Make sure to subscribe to all these fine folks that you see within this rectangle, and including
Yes.
me. 10K by TFCon. Cato's wanting 5K by TFCon.
I'm 40 away from 3K.
20 by TFCon.
I'm going to start doing reviews now. That one wasn't just a joke. It was more of a test.
I got to get myself up there too. I'm trying to get to 90 before the summer, so hopefully I can get to 100K.
You got 1,000.
Yeah.
1,000 by TFCon.
1,000. I'm 40 away from 3K and on track for 5K by TFCon.
Nice.
But it's been a rough ride the last week or so.
This month's been odd. Mine haven't been
Man.
getting any hits.
Oof. Everybody's got their government check and they're going and partying out. They're not at home on YouTube anymore.
True. It'll dry up quick.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, there's his ding. He's got to go.
Yeah. So we're gonna say until next time, till all are one.
And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon to get notified when I upload new reviews. This is Patriot Prime, signing out. Hooah! All right, Cato, your turn.
See you around like a donut.
Firetox, you got one yet?
Yeah, I have nothing.
Nailed it.
I want it. I can make it. Firetox. Good night, guys.